Awesome admins, welcome to How I Solved It. I'm Jennifer Lee, lead admin evangelist at Salesforce. Today we're exploring 12 Beacon's powerful nonprofit job placement solution. It was created by hackathon team Agent 12, which comprises of Rosie Goldman, Lucille Villa, Mike Fazio, Doug Furry, and Charlie Hawes. Using Agentforce, RAG, and Data Cloud, they built a zero-code solution that transformed Sarah's career journey. Let's see how they did it. The Agentforce Hackathon NYC was a 1.5-day event held in New York where attendees formed groups, built agents, and competed for prizes. So I'm here today with one of the many teams from that hackathon, Team Agent 12. Welcome Mike, Lucille, Rosie, Doug, and a shout out to Charlie who couldn't be with us. Welcome to How I Solved It with Agentforce. Please introduce yourselves and how you got involved with Salesforce. So we'll start with you, Mike.
Yeah, my name is Mike Fazio. I'm in New York City and I've been a Salesforce certified admin for 2 years now. I kind of jumped careers and decided to leave textiles to come to tech. So I'm really excited. Newly Agent Blazer champion on Trailhead, so that was nice. And then, yeah, I'm a regular attendee at the Salesforce user group in New York City.
Great. And Lucille.
So I first got started with Salesforce when I was tasked by the tech company I was working at to redesign the knowledge base in order to reduce support tickets. And from there, I explored Salesforce and got certified. I focus on digital adoption. So for me, Salesforce is a great tool for really understanding the customer base and creating robust segmentation. And now with Agentforce, I'm really intrigued by the potential to enhance customer engagement and create personalized messaging at scale to an extent we've never been able to do before.
Great, Lucille. Thanks for that. And what about you, Rosie? Tell us about yourself.
Thanks, Jennifer. I am the sales project coordinator and a Salesforce admin. And like many admins, I came into being an admin accidentally. But then I did some Trailhead and got certified, and I found out that was really the place for me. And I've been in the ecosystem for about 3 years.
Great. And lastly, Doug, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Thank you, Jennifer. My name is Doug Fury. I'm 4-time Salesforce certified. Been working with Salesforce for a little over 10 years as an admin. First got into working with Salesforce in my previous position, mainly with Service Cloud, transferring business workflows from legacy systems. From there, began to leverage Sales Cloud components for the field sales teams, and eventually got into working with Experience Cloud, building out websites for business teams.
Awesome. So how did you come up with Agent 12? From what I understand, some of you knew each other before, others were recruited. So how did you come up with the name?
So Mike and I knew each other from the user groups. So shout out to New York City user groups. And then we met Lucille at a Salesforce AI workshop. And at the workshop, we all knew about the hackathon and we decided to go together. And then when we got there, we met Charlie and Doug and made our team. And I wish we had a better story for how our name came about, but we were seated at table 12 and we were there to build agents. So therefore, Agent 12.
Got it. So how did you find the whole hackathon experience? Lucille, why don't you give your thoughts?
Well, I'd never participated in a hackathon before, so I really didn't know what to expect. And I was really stepping out of my comfort zone when I signed up. But it was an incredible experience. It was an opportunity to connect with the Salesforce community and to put my skills to the test. I thought it would be really intimidating, but it wasn't at all. The experience was inspiring, collaborative, and really a lot of fun. And I'd do it again, definitely.
Thanks, Lucille. And what did you enjoy about the most about the hackathon, Mike?
Yeah, like Lucille mentioned, this was my first hackathon experience as well. So it was definitely kind of, doing something new and adventurous. So participating was really awesome. And we had such a collaborative environment, and everyone, especially in our team, was so diverse. So all of our backgrounds came in handy because we were so diverse. And I think, what was also enjoyable was the Salesforce team that was there. They were so helpful and so nice. And so anytime we were stuck or we needed to tap into their brains, they were there for us. So definitely it made the experience more enjoyable.
Thanks, Mike. And what about you, Doug?
Again, this was my first hackathon. I didn't really know what to expect. Overall, very positive, excellent. Yes, like Mike was saying, excellent support by Salesforce staff. It's a great experience working with my team members. Love working with Agentforce. It was great to see how quickly you can scale up an application. Just a great collaborative environment. I just really enjoyed working with my team to build our solution. It was just a great experience overall.
And what is something new that you learned? I'm going to throw it to Mike.
Jen, what did I learn? I have attended a few of the AI Now tours, like Rosie was mentioning. And so being able to go to those full day workshops, I was able to take what I learned from the workshop and bring it to the hackathon. I mean, we've all done plenty of Trailheads. We've built, or some of us have built agents on Trailhead, but this was really testing our skills to build something on our own. So it really tested our skills to build an agent, and building that agent was something new I definitely learned.
And what advice do you have for folks interested in participating in a future Agentforce hackathon? I'll throw it to you, Lucille.
I mean, just really go for it. Don't let your doubts hold you back. I went into it feeling like a fish out of water because I'm not a coder, but hackathons are all about learning, collaboration, as everyone's been saying, and really thinking outside the box. You're surrounded by people who are supporting you and who are rooting for you and step in if you get stuck. So it's really, in a way, it's a luxury to have that much time to focus on something intently and to be learning in such an active environment.
That's great. And Rosie, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, obviously do your homework. Get that experience on Trailhead. Go to those all-day workshops. Mike was right. They were really, really helpful. But also be prepared to bring your entire bag of tricks. Because when we were there, we started out with a brand new org. And so we had to build everything from the ground up. And luckily, like Mike said, we had a diverse team. And so everybody pitched in and we were able to split up the work. Like Doug built our experience site, and Charlie handled Data Cloud, and Mike uploaded a bunch of data for us to use, and Lucille helped with knowledge, and I did like basic admin things like setting up users. So it wasn't just Agentforce. It was kind of everything, and everything coming together into this one piece that we presented. And last thing I'll say is don't underestimate how much time it takes to put together your demo.
Well, it definitely sounded like a team sport. So, Mike, tell us about your use case for your agent. How did you come up with it? What was the business challenge that you were trying to solve for?
So we have, a few of us have had ties to the nonprofit sector, whether we worked for the nonprofit, whether we volunteer for nonprofit. We really felt like this was a niche market, and we wanted to focus on this. And some of us, find it hard to find a job in nonprofit because a lot of these bigger job boards tend to be geared toward for-profit companies. So having something just a little more special for the nonprofit sector, it goes a long way. And with that, sometimes these job seekers, they tend to look for or see what skills that are needed for some of these jobs. So we felt that we could tailor to that as well. And then also, some of these job seekers, they tend to maybe not feel so confident applying for these jobs, but want these jobs. So there's sort of like a counselor part to this as well. And then with all of that said, having this kind of platform or this area, this special kind of niche platform, we can, those who are the nonprofit companies will feel better in retention rates when they know that they're hiring people specifically for nonprofit and know that they want to work for that company. And so you'll see in as we demo how we basically solve this business challenge.
Great. Thanks for sharing that. So we're admins and we like to get technical, especially with so many of us getting started with Agentforce. So show us what you've built. Let's start first by showing us the user experience in Experience Cloud.
Thanks, Jennifer. So let me share my screen. All right. Welcome to our demo showcasing how Agentforce empowers 12 Beacons, a fictional nonprofit employment services platform to address a critical business challenge, efficiently guiding job seekers through impactful career paths. Today, we'll follow Sarah Miller, a candidate passionate about environmental work as she navigates job placement, salary preferences, and interview preparation. We'll see how Agentforce streamlines this process, ensuring personalized and effective support for job seekers like Sarah. So let's dive in. Let me introduce you to Sarah Miller. She's interested in environmental work with a purpose, and she is going to engage with the 12 Beacons Employment Services agent. She'll let it know she's interested in applying for a job in environmental education. And the agent's happy to help, but it needs additional information. Sarah lets it know that she's looking for a full-time job in Seattle with a salary range around $120K and skills related to policy and research. It looks like the agent didn't find any job openings that meet her criteria. Maybe she's a little too optimistic about the salary range, so she'll lower it a bit. All right, that worked. This time it did find some results, and she's really interested in the first job, the environmental policy analyst. Before the agent can apply for the position, it needs to know a bit more information, starting with her name. So now let's switch gears to Agent Builder because I want you to see what's going on behind the scenes.
Great. Thanks, Rosie. So now let's do that deeper dive in setup. Agent 12, we're going to take us through it. So Rosie, we're going to cut back to you.
All right, so let me share my screen again. As I said before, this was a team effort. So I'll start off, and then when we get to Prompt Builder and Flow, I'll pass it off to my other teammates. Okay, so I've already worked with the agent to get it to where you saw in the previous demo. And at this point, I'm adding Sarah Miller's name. And just like that, the application's been submitted, and she's going to receive an email shortly. So let's look at Salesforce real quick. This is Sarah's job candidate record. And over in the job applications, we'll just do a quick refresh. And we'll see she has indeed applied for the job. Now back over in Agent Builder, Sarah wants some additional help, so she's going to ask for any guidance that the agent can provide when preparing for an interview. And it's thinking. And the agent comes back with some tips for the interview process. So let's walk through what happened behind the scenes in Agent Builder as Sarah engaged with the agent. We will start at the very beginning. All the way up. All right, so here is where Sarah indicated to the agent that she was interested in a job in environmental education. And the agent came back and asked for more additional information. So what happened? The agent selected the job placement assistant topic that has 4 instructions and 2 actions. It asked for additional information because in the instructions, specifically here in number 2, if they're looking for job assistance, ask for their preferences, including category, industry, location, work schedule, salary, and relevant job experience. So next, Sarah provided that information, full-time in Seattle, the salary range, and the related skills. And then again, the agent selected the job placement assistant topic, but this time it evoked a prompt template called Find Job Openings, where it passes in inputs such as the sector, the job type, salary range, skills, and location based on the information she provided. And now I'm going to pass it on to Doug.
Okay, thank you, Rosie. Let me share my screen. So now let's take a look at the prompt template. Now here is our prompt. Has information about what it should do, and notice here that we're using Einstein search. So it's essentially RAG. What that means when we select it, we'll see that the user is able to query by providing information in natural language and not necessarily needing to know all the fields to provide. So here we have the skills, salary range, job type, sector, and location. And then as an output, it'll provide information about the city, title, type, range, sector, state, and record ID. And again, here were the inputs that fed into the Einstein search to get back that information. And now back in Agent Builder. Sarah provided that information, and it didn't look like there was anything that matched the job criteria. So then she revised her range. And again, the agent selected a job placement assistant topic and invoked the prompt template. And this time, the salary range is different. So it was able to find jobs that met the salary range and all the other criteria. So next, Sarah indicated that she wanted to apply for the position Environmental Policy Analyst. And now again, the agent selected the job placement assistant topic, and it didn't have enough information to go by. So it needed to know the name of the applicant before it could apply for the job. So Sarah gives the name, and it selects again the job placement assistant topic. And this time it invoked a flow custom action called apply for job. And then the inputs that it passes to the flow from the agent is Sarah's first name, last name, job title, Environmental Policy Analyst. So let's take a look at that flow. This is an auto launch flow, and the first step here is getting the job candidate from the Data Cloud object job candidates, with the first and last name matching the input fields from the agent. Next, it does another get records, but this time on a different Data Cloud object called job opening. And here it's looking for the job title that's equal to the job title from the prompt or the agent into our flow. Next, it creates that application. It creates a record in the job application Salesforce object, and essentially takes the candidate ID from the first get records for the job opening, the record ID from this get records, and then lastly, it assigns a message to the success variable, and then sent from the flow back to the agent to show the candidate. Okay, now over to you, Lucille.
Thanks, Doug. I'm going to show you how we created the functionality that allows an applicant to get interview help. Let me share my screen. We already saw that Agentforce successfully processed the flow, the application was submitted, and Sarah should have received an email confirmation. At this point, Sarah is looking for additional guidance on the interview process to be best prepared for her interview. In this case, the agent selects the career counseling topic, which has 4 instructions and 2 actions, and it came back with tips about the interview process. So here, the action that was invoked was a standard action called Answer Questions with Knowledge, and it sent in the query, Interview Preparation Tips. So how did it know to do that? Well, we have an instruction that says, if the user asks for helps with skills, interviewing, fundraising, grant writing, resume preparation, or tips, attempt to answer the question from the knowledge base. What this topic also has is knowledge articles in the Einstein data library that were uploaded. So the agent then goes and searches through these PDFs to find something relevant to Sarah's question, and then provides that information back. And that's our demo. To recap our solution, we provided a dedicated platform for nonprofit job seekers. In the agent, we generated appropriate responses to the candidates' questions by grounding prompts with unstructured data using RAG. We use standard and custom flows to present matching job opportunities to candidates. Then we tailored training programs to support them through the resume writing and interview process. With our solution, we aim to take the pain out of the job search process so that candidates can get matched quickly and seamlessly with their dream job. Back to you, Jen.
Well, I love this use case for employment services agents serving those who are looking for jobs in the nonprofit sector. And the best part is that you all didn't use any code to do so. So I want to thank you all again, Agent 12, Lucille, Rosie, Doug, Mike, for being on How I Solved It.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Jennifer.
Jennifer. This was great.
And there you have it. Sarah's success story, powered by the ingenuity of hackathon team Agent 12, proves that with the right tools and a dash of admin brilliance, we can transform lives, no code required. From personalized job matching to interview prep, Agentforce RAG and Data Cloud made it happen. Remember, every challenge is an opportunity to innovate and inspire. I'm Jennifer Lee, and you've been watching How I Solved It. A huge thanks to Agent 12 for sharing their amazing solution. Keep pushing boundaries, keep learning, and keep making a difference. Now, go out there and solve something amazing.
Awesome admin.